hey folks, this is Seven here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me today here on the farm, and we are of course on the World Challenge map for Farm Sim 17. And yeah, I thought I've finished the harvests. We've still got the straw to gather, but all of our fields are now clear. And I thought I would take a moment to try and catch up a little bit here, because our goods are starting to stack up, and that's all right, but some of this stuff is a little on the perishable side, so we needs do what we needs do. So yeah, we got a good sized trailer full here. So I got some good news and some weird news. You want the weird news first? Alrighty. I was getting a little concerned that I hadn't heard anything back from the local yokel donut suckers there, our towny police, and so I called them up. I was turned over to the officer in charge of the case, and the first thing he says is, well, I do apologize, Mr. Species, he says, but, just wondering why all my lines are hanging down. I do apologize, but, we haven't been able to find it yet. And I said, well, what do you mean you haven't been able to find it yet? I have the corn header back. You know, you guys contacted me, blah, 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 and explained the whole story, and he said, well, who was it that contacted you? Of course, I didn't think to take their name. You know, I was just, hey, I got my corn header back, yay, thank you, I'm gonna come and get it. Yeah. So it started getting really weird when he said, well, so what happened then? And I said, well, you know, I went out to where I was told it was, and it was out in the back of Bob's property, and he's Bob Thornton. I'm like, yeah, I believe that's the guy. And, you know, Crown Vic was sitting there, all the lights were still on, but there was no officers around. And he says, Crown Vic? Well, we don't have any Crown Vics. He said, we've got a van, a Suburban, and 2 Jeeps. We don't run Crown Vics. We don't have anything in the way of a sedan out here. And, yeah. Now I don't remember if this is the place that takes these. So, yeah, I'm even more perplexed now, apparently. So it definitely was not the RCMP that contacted me. And see, me being me, and kind of, well, let's just say on occasion I have tickled the seedy underbelly of the world. Problem is, I'm thinking now that it was, you know, kind of a trap, in so much as I think maybe they wanted to, you know, either see who they were dealing with, or for, you know, one, it hates me, it's not buying them, okay. So I have a feeling that possibly all I truly accomplished there was more than likely, you know, getting my picture taken, or, you know, well, we came out in Harvester, so I guess they couldn't get a plate number on a vehicle. I don't actually own any vehicles that have plates, thankfully. So, yeah, I have a feeling the entire thing was a setup to get me out there, you know. I don't know. But the RCMP are now curious as heck. They came out and had a look at the header. You know, I put it back in its usual place up by the coop, and, you know. And now I do have the name of the local officer here that is dealing with it, etc. So, Yeah, I mean, they were happy enough that I got it back, but as you can imagine, they were somewhat perplexed as to, as I am, as to just who it was that might have called me and said, hey, good news. Yeah, I don't think so. Alright. Now, oh, wait a minute. This actually has its own special sale point. That's right. And we were in the right place to start with, I think. In fact, I'll bet you, if I actually had a map open... Yep, there you go, medicine. It is there, it's the little unmarked square, as opposed to the actual building. Yeah, so... And as for the good news, since that's probably about weird enough, the field outside the noodle factory. The guys down there decided that since the city was being so obstinate about it for pretty much no reason, let's face it, I mean, it's going to provide employment, it's, only a good thing no matter how they want to look at it, and yet, I'm hoping this is the one, they don't want to release the field. Now, it does belong to the noodle factory, but the thing of it is there's sort of taken it over. The employees, at one time it was owned by an out-of-town company, and they paid the city a certain amount to have the thing there. It was a tax write-off for them. They didn't really care if it made any money or what it did. So when they were going to shut it down, I guess the employees bought them out. It's a fairly common thing to do, and kind of sometimes really do the employees well to do that. But because this company had some kind of a lease deal with the city wouldn't allow them to, they said, well, we'll just shut your factory down if you start working that field. Because, well, I think we've sort of established they're sort of dicks, So these guys went to Community Services, or Career Link, or whatever they call it here, Community Futures, or... There we go. And talked to them about it. And they filed the paperwork to... Well, long story short, to basically make it so that whether I'm around or the current people there around isn't going to matter. Because what we're going to do, they are going to allow us to farm the field. We will make the money off it. Now, mind you, anything grown there, we can only grow the crops that the noodle factory uses. Unless the city puts in a facility that uses something else. And apparently the distillery is privately owned, so it doesn't count. But they're going to allow us to farm the field. We can sell the crops directly to the noodle factory. And what it is and how CareerLink managed to get our foot in the door is we will be training people to run farm equipment on that field. So like I said, whether we decide to stay here or whatever may go on in the future, they will have people employed that are capable of farming. And I'm pretty sure the city agreed with it, because they're getting concerned with this. This giant, what will soon be an overgrown, useless mess right in the middle of town. So, yeah, I think that's the only reason. So we will be coming out here and cleaning this field up. The far end of it actually is completely overgrown. It seems like grass seed has taken to it rather severely. So, yeah, you can see it's just not terribly good. But we're going to deal with all of that at another date. We actually have a little while to do it. And, in exchange, we get to use that big fancy tractor with the culti plow whenever we need to. But, as I said, that's going to be the deal. Is as we I'll level that out a little bit. As we do each part, you know, as I come up here and we run the culti plow through, etc., we will turn over a portion of it. We'll have a student with us, and then we'll turn over a portion and let them finish that. And then, you know, each stage will do that. And every time we work the field, we'll ensure that we can have a student do a portion of it until they're capable of running all of the equipment it takes. And as I say, in exchange... Oh, and when they do have a crew ready to do it, now I realize I'm basically, you know, going to train myself out of a job, and that's fine. Because when they do have a competent crew and are completely able to, you know, with a good degree of being self-sustainable, take on the project themselves, they're actually going to buy me out. And they will likely keep me on in a consulting capacity. So, be a nice little bit of extra income every month. So that's working out rather well. So like I said, some weird news and some good news. And it's always good to have some good news. It's always weird to have some weird news, if you want to look at it that way. Alright, what do we got? This one looks almost there. Okay, it is just these guys. As I said, it was getting to a point where I do really need to look after a few things here in the farm. You know? So, I thought we would do that. There's no point having all of our facilities not running and not meeting our obligations with the other facilities around. At all. So... we'll do that, and then we'll get down to the picking up of the straw. Now, I have not swapped that baler over yet, because I was told that by one of my viewers that they use the same baler, and maybe it was the tractor I was using, because they don't have that issue with it. So, we'll see how it behaves behind the viewer, and go from there. I'm sitting here going, geez, I don't remember at all where these go, but, I actually do. It's okay. Yeah. We have the slow beef facility right here. Oh, come on. Please? There we go. Oh, I hope this works. Huh. Not really, eh? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Come on. I guess there's just no easy way to do this. You know, one way or the other, we just have to drag him in the door. There we go. And the last one. Nice. There, that'll get some production going. There we are. That's what I like to see. Now I have also not been lax in the woodworking department. Now I'm going to take those barrels down on another run. No point completely draining the tank on the poor viewer here. We just got her. But one thing I have been doing as well, you may notice that's still a big ugly pile of logs, but this one, as you can see, we're down to, oh, I don't know, about half of what was there. It was right out to the road as well. Of course, the chip, you know, chip dispenser full, 150,000. You know, and the log guy, I'm sure, is 170,000. So yeah, we still get, you know, 300,000 liter of active wood going, but hey, oh, that's something else I need to do. The wood plant itself is not operational right now because we need to shuffle chips from one spouto to another. So, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I don't know. Am I wrong, or is it doing exactly the same thing? So yeah, I don't think it's our tractor at all. But you know what? Considering I'm only going to do 4 bales again, I think we'll just call her good. Yeah, there's no reason for us to stock up on lots of bales at this point. This is not a season's run, so we don't have to come up with the whole year's worth. So I think if I throw about 4 bales around, that'll probably take care of almost anything we're going to come up with. Alright, so there's one. Okay, and there is no headlands on that other field. Alrighty. So let's just pick a lane. That'll do. Up you go. Perfect. Because, I mean, other than that little sort of weirdness that it does with the fold out, just nicely done. You know, it's a great little baler. It does exactly what it's supposed to. Although, again, I'm not sure that 6,000 liters is a normal bale size. But in the long run, it doesn't really matter. You know, I'm just shredding it to blow it into the cow byre and the piggy sty and stuff like that anyways, so yeah. So 6,000 liters is still going to count as 6,000 liters, whether it's a, you know, one piece or shreddies. Alright, so that's 3. Let's see if we can knock out one more, shall we? And then the rest of it we're going to collect with the wagon, and it will go over to our make-a-poop plant. I still think that place has got to be magic, you know? Woohoo! I mean, how else can you turn clean straw into manure? It's like a really sewer version of Rumpelstiltskin or something. Ooh, there we go. Nice too, right at the end of the row. Good to see, good to see. Let's dump that out of there. Alright. Shut her down. Yeah. So now, if I come in now and pick it up. Oops. Alright. So everything's lined up properly now, and it's behind us. So now let's unfold it. Yeah. See, now it tows it behind us. Yeah, it's definitely borked. Either way, it doesn't work, unfortunately. Oh, well. For the 4 bales we make, I think it's a pretty cool unit. We'll just have to always pick it up in the unfolded position so that it'll work properly. Although I guess I could tow it behind me, it doesn't matter, does it? One way or the other, not really. So. There we go. Now, I don't know where it is. Oh, I do know where it is. Never mind. I do know where it is. Alright, we definitely need to restock the greenhouse a little bit. We still get almost 2,000 liters of water, but we'd only put, well, shall we say, less than the required amount of manure in there. I think our cows have probably got a good splat of it by now, as should the piggets. There we are. Yeah. And of course, this is the wheat. I don't expect as much. The barley field should yield even more straw. Or at least that seems to be what happens. No. There. Seems like that was dragging a bit too far. I tried to spread these out so I wouldn't have these huge humps of material at the end of the rows. Managed it with most of them. So actually carry it all the way along. That way it fits into the rake on the forage wagon. You can see I didn't quite get it on that one. That's alright. We are almost full. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There we go. And done. In you go. Alright, nice to get this facility back up and running. Awesome. Let's crank her back on and get the rest of this done. So thanks to everybody that's still supporting this particular series. I know the views have dropped off a bit, but that's alright. It's still well worth doing, especially since there is lots of comments come in and lots of, you know, helpful hints and just people going that they like a little bit of a storyline behind it going on and that sort of thing. So I really do appreciate the interaction. Is not only is it better for my channel, but it's it also makes you know, doing YouTube a little bit more interesting for me. Because otherwise I could simply sit here and play Farm Sim whenever I felt like it. You know, worry no more. Alright, well, I feel like that's pretty much that field. Let's move on to the barley. Gotta like that forage wagons don't care. Straw is straw. Yeah. So yeah, thanks very much, guys, for still liking the series. Oh, and in case you guys are wondering, yeah, I do know the whole story, right up to the ending. Yeah, this isn't as make it up as you go along as you might think. And we're good. Whoa. Alright, next one I'm going to run it past the cows and the pigs first before I dump the rest of it in here. Just to make sure that they are doing well. I think I just topped up the cows yesterday or something, so they shouldn't be too much of a dealie. But I think the pigs have only been done when I originally put them in, so... There we go. Run to the end. Whee. There we go. A little bit bumpy there. Probably got more than enough now to give the cows and pigs, but might as well fill it. Might as well. Nice try. Nice try. There we go. Whew. Oh, you guys are messy. Man. Oh, they're taking some. Ooh, they're taking some. Wow, they're taking some. Okay. Jeez. Apparently they needed a little bit of that. Wow. I was thinking, you know, 1,000 liters, 2,000 liters. You know, a bale or two, maybe 4,000 or 8,000, but yee-hoo! Good for them. Alright, well. Wonder how the piggies are gonna feel. The chickens, I'm just going to... I threw a bale into the little go wild chewer there. So, when it comes to adding straw for the chickens, it's much easier to get up nice and close to them with that thing. And that is going to be basically our mixing wagon too, I think, for the first little bit. Because you can make fodder in it. There we go. Take this out to the piggies. See how they're doing. No, yeah. I can see I need to come out here fairly soon. Yes, indeed. What the heck have I dumped here? Oh, sugar beets. Right. Okie dokie. Straw is not accepted here. Really? Oh, that's right. I think you have to actually get back in there. If I remember correctamundo. Which I'm not doing a very good job of. There we are. That should do it. Oh? Straw is not accepted here. Alright, well, there's only one more spot. It's not easy to get to, so... I'm pretty sure I used the blower the last time, but I thought that it was in the like in behind the building here that I'd done it. So let's see. We come in from this side. I mean, we get tips here, but that's for food. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I just wasn't in far enough. And then they take, you know. No, thanks, we'd like a cup of straw. Thank you. Boy, oh boy. Alright, there we go. And I think with that, guys, I'm going to, well, I'm going to finish picking up the straw, dump her all into the thing there, and go from there. So, thanks very much again, everyone, for joining me here today. And, well, stay tuned, and we'll see how this all unravels. Till next time, though, it's been Species 7. Take care of each other, folks, and ciao for now.